Hi all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amira, and today I have for you a video idea that I was planning to do anyway, but I decided to move it up on my filming schedule because Pat McGrath is having her Black Friday holiday sale. And so I wanted to do a full face of Pat McGrath for you guys, sort of take you through some of the products and let you know what's my favorite, how to use them, do I think they're any good, do I think they're worth your time or your money, and then at the end you can see a full face of Pat McGrath. And then if you're interested in dropping your coin this week or next week during Black Friday, you'll have some point of reference for that. So let's get started. All right, so first off, what I have for you guys is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. Now, I did have the primer that she came out with when she came out with the foundation, but I got rid of that a while ago. I'm gonna just let you know right now, it's not worth your money. It really isn't. It's a very basic primer. There are better primers on the market, in my opinion, for less. And I don't really use primer anymore anyway. I tend to use my sunscreen. So just so you guys know, I have my sunscreen on. I've done my brows. I went for my morning walk and for my morning Starbucks run already. So I've already have sunscreen on, and then I applied my brows. Pat does not have brow products as of yet, so I just did these off screen. So I have the shade and the foundation medium 16. Now this I think is a little, might be a little light for me, but medium 15 is way too light and medium 17 is a little too warm. So this is kind of the happy medium I found. And this foundation is quite, you know what, let me zoom you guys in. There you go. So as you can see, it's kind of light for me, but it usually evens out once I put other stuff on. This foundation, I feel like you either like it or you don't. I fall somewhere in the it's okay category, I think, which is, I mean, not a lot of people there. I feel like people have strong feelings about this foundation. I feel like people either love it or they hate it, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's a decent foundation. I don't like spend all my, you know, I don't spend a lot of time with it. I did a little mini project over the spring and summer where or the beginning of the year until the summer, where I wore one foundation for a month straight, and it was really my way of getting use out of my products, understanding them a bit more, and then deciding if I wanted to keep them, you know, if there's anything I wanted to declutter. I haven't decluttered anything as of yet. I'm thinking I'm going to do a declutter of my makeup at the end of this year in December. I'm thinking, guys, and let me know, this is kind of a commitment, but I'm thinking I might bump up my upload schedule in December because I have so much content that I want to get up for you guys before the end of the year. I want to do my makeup collection video, my declutter videos, all that good stuff. So this is a pump and a half on my face. And as you can see, the coverage is quite natural. It's not, some people say you can get full coverage out of this. I don't think so. I've never gotten full coverage out of this foundation, but I feel like you get like a nice medium coverage. Very natural satin, not dewy, not matte. Pretty good. Next up is the, what is this? Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. And this is in M15. And I actually love the concealer. I think it's so nice. I think it's, what I find interesting about this concealer, and I actually like the way that she did this, is that because the foundation is quite natural in the finish, and it's actually, depending on how you apply it, it can be quite sheer. Like if you went in with a sponge with that foundation, you would get quite a sheer coverage. Let me get my mirror so I can see just a little bit better. I use brushes, so I got a little bit more coverage. But what I like is that she balances that out with a concealer that has more coverage. So if you are someone who doesn't like heavy foundation, but you still want coverage, I think that's a good foundation. And I feel like for that purpose, and then you can always grab the concealer to perfect where you feel like you need to perfect. So, excuse the trucks. We've established where we're at here, right? You guys know, right? So I either can film or never film because they don't stop going by my house until like 9 o'clock, and I'm an old lady, so I'm in the bed by that point. So next, so this is, what shade did I say it was? This is M15. So I really like the coverage of this concealer. For me, of the two of these, this is my favorite of the two. I just think it's such a lovely concealer, and it is more matte. Not a lot, but it is more matte because like I've said, I don't really like super matte concealers, and I don't feel like this is super matte. So next up is the powder that everyone raves about, and I bought it when I bought the foundation. It was when Pat was having her, like, she was selling like kits, so you could get the primer, the foundation, and the under eye powder, I believe. Was it the under eye powder or was it the set? No, I'm sorry. It was the setting powder. And then I went and got this as well. So this is the Skin Fetish Sublime Blurring Under Eye Powder. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I hardly ever use this. People rave about it, and it is a good powder, but I just always forget that I have it. And I don't like to powder under my eyes, so I got this because other people had been saying that it worked really well as just an overall blurring powder, which I think it does. So, like, bringing it down here, it does blur the pores really nicely. But yeah, so I'm just powdering that part of my face. I'm not going to powder all of my face yet because I have to put my bronzer on. Now, Pat does not have bronzer as of yet, and I hope she's working on that. But because she doesn't have a bronzer, I felt like it was my perfect time to use my favorite bronzer right now, which is the NARS one. Yes, this is limited edition. No, you cannot get it anymore. Hopefully they will come to their senses and make it a permanent thing. Let us pray. Let us pray. So that's done. We're going to ignore that. That was not a Pat McGrath product, but I still had to bronze. So now we will go on to the Pat McGrath Perfecting Setting Powder. It's the Skin Fetish Sublime. It's all Skin Fetish Sublime, and I'm kind of oversaying that, so we're just going to say it's her setting powder. I love this powder. I really do. It is on the matte side, I will say that. So I don't, I tend to use this more in the summer when I'm looking for a bit more as far as like controlling oils and, you know, not looking greasy and oily throughout the day during the summer. This is a good powder if you have oily skin. I don't think it's a bad powder if you have normal skin. If you have dry skin, proceed with caution, I think. That's my advice, is proceed with caution. I don't think it necessarily is bad, but I don't necessarily think that it, I feel like, especially in the wintertime, I feel like it could be hard to navigate if you have super dry skin. All right, so that is Zip Powder, and this is how my skin is looking. I didn't do my normal, and I could do that, but I don't want to, so I won't. I was going to do my little bronzer trick where I put my cream bronzer and then I powder and then I put a powder bronzer over that, but I don't think I want to look super bronzy today, so we're not going to do that. We're going to go in with my much hated MAC paint pot that I'm trying to pan. I have a little, has a little hole. I'm almost done, guys. I can feel it. I can feel it. It took me forever. And I don't know. Honestly, I feel like once I've hit pan, like really hit pan, I might just abandon it. Oh, I have a makeup brush here. I might just abandon it. I just, in the Sephora VIB sale, I just ordered the not Pat McGrath, the Tasha Denona what do you call it, eyeshadow primer. And because I've heard multiple people rave about it, so I'm like, why not? If I don't like it, oh, sorry guys, I'm covering the, I like poked myself in the eye there. Hopefully it'll work for me, because this right here is not the biz. I feel like it's not letting me be great because it catches on everything. I'm going to set, and this is how you know I am not a fan of this paint pot as eyeshadow primers. I don't like to set my primer. I don't like to at all, because I feel like it kind of diffuses the pigment, and I'm not about that life. But because this stuff is so skippy on my eyes, I feel like I have to in order to get like a decent blend. Okay, that's done. Now we get to the good stuff, the stuff that you guys are really waiting for right now. Let's do eyeshadow. Now, I'm sorry if I'm rubbing my nose. My sinuses are really bothering me. I get like itchy nose when my sinuses are bothering me. So I'm always like, sorry about that. So I have 3 palettes that I am thinking of trying. So I recently did my Pat McGrath ranking, and I ranked Subliminal as my favorite. And let me zoom you guys out so you can see a little bit better. And it is still my favorite. That hasn't changed in the last, 2 weeks. But I also was thinking, why don't I try using my least favorite? So I'm going to open this up. I'm sure you guys have seen this. If you haven't, I will show you now. So this is Subliminal. This is my favorite. This is my baby. And of course now I have shadow all over my fingers. So I was thinking of using that one, but I'm like, Amira, no, that's predictable. Don't do that. So then I was like, well, maybe I'll use my least favorite. And this one, this one. And I've never used this one. So this would be a good day to use it because I've never used it. But it's not speaking to me today. I'm looking at it. I mean, it doesn't speak to me much at all anyway. That's why it's my least favorite. But then I was like, why don't I use one of the ones that was like, it was my favorite, and then it got bumped. And I haven't used it in a little while. And Hannah Louise Poston just did her Pat McGrath Midnight Sun video, and it just re-inspired me because I forgot I didn't forget. It just was a nice reminder of why I love this palette. And one of the shades that she talks about that she would never use, and it's exactly the same shade that I never use, and it's honestly what kept me from buying this for a really long time, was the purple shade. This shade right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. That shade. And I'm wearing a purple sweater today. So I was like, what if I do something with this? Now, this could go south because I haven't done any kind of like test run. And with Pat, I tend to have to, I feel like I always have to test run her shadows. Not because they're bad, but because the color stories can be very intimidating. I think that's the thing that stopped me from buying a Pat McGrath for a really long, a full-size mothership for such a long time, is that the color stories can be very intimidating. And I know someone in my comments said that they bought Pat McGrath and they just haven't used them because they're intimidated by them. And I completely get that. So I decided what I'm going to do. And I'll tell you guys right now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in with this. And then I'm going to go in with that. And then I'm going to go in with that. And we'll see what happens. This could go terribly. Or it could be pure magic. Who's to know? I never take these off my mirrors. Don't ask me why. But I'm going to take it off this time because I'm going to use the mirror. We're going in. I'm going to pull out the shade card so I can remember the names. I'm really bad with the names of her shadows unless it's like my absolute favorite shades because the names are so intense. So this shade I do know is called a Taboo. Taboo. And that is this tan shade. And I actually really love this shade. I love the tone of it. I think it's so pretty. So very pretty. And I'm just, hopefully I don't have too much on my brush from my last video, you know, last video I filmed. I'm really reticent to like overwash. Well, you're not supposed to overwash natural hair brushes anyway, so I'm always like, I do have a little microfiber cloth that I use to clean them off, a little Sonia G one. That pretty one that she has on Beautylicious website, that really pretty microfiber. I have that. I bought it. That was a splurge. That was a while ago, but so pretty. But I always forget it when I come to film. I remember when I'm doing my makeup in real life, but for some reason when I'm filming, I always forget to grab it. I'm looking at it right now, way over there. All right. That's it. And one thing I will say about what I love about Pat's shadows is I thought when I first got my first mothership is I thought they would be really hard to work with. I don't know. I felt like because they were so, like, everyone talked about like, oh, the artistry and there's such a good formula, and I thought it's Pat McGrath, she's an expert. For some reason I thought that they would just be really hard to work with. I don't know why I thought that, because what I found and what blew my mind and made me really excited about them is that they're actually really easy to use. You don't have to do a whole lot with them. And sorry, I'm over here digging for a brush. I'm looking for a 13 that isn't dirty. We'll use this one. And this is my Sonia G Mini Booster from the the Sky Face set. Is that because the formulation is so nice, you don't have to do a whole lot, you know? I was building up there, but that was because I was going for a very specific, but I could have just run that in my crease and it would have been done. I'm going to tap off a little bit because I don't want a lot of fallout since I did my eyes first. I mean my face first, excuse me. Usually with Pat, I usually do my eyes first, but I wanted to get the face makeup out of the way because it's the least interesting part, you know? It's the least interesting part, let's be real. I mean, as much as, you know, I love my Pat McGrath concealer and stuff, those are not the interesting things. Those are not the things we come to the party for, you know? We come for the eyeshadow. So I'm just building this up and slowly bringing it out. Like that. So it's just creating like a little wing. Like so. I'm going to do it on this side. Sorry guys, let me bring you in just a little bit more. There you go. And you get to listen to the sound of the cars the trucks as they fly past my apartment building. How nice for you. I'm sure you're very excited about that. All right. Are these the same? Listen, I am not the queen of symmetry when it comes to like wings and stuff. If I can get them somewhat close, I'm happy. You know, especially when you have hooded eyes, it can be a bit of a pain to kind of get the vibe right. I'm not gonna lie. All right, I'm gonna take this other little mini brush and I'm gonna go back into Taboo, and I'm just gonna run that over the edges here just to kind of soften that a bit. Okay. Now for the piece de resistance, we're gonna grab the Pat McGrath Intensive Eyes Artistry Wand, and this is sort of like her version of a mixing medium or a glitter glue. It's got a little clicky. I hate the clicky, but what are you gonna do? So I'm just gonna run that on the lid here, and I'm gonna take it up a little bit as well. And I'm going to, if you hear clicking, that's my radiator. City apartment living, man, it's loud. I'm just gonna tell you that now. You get used to it, and I honestly paid no attention to it till I started a YouTube channel, and then I was like, God damn, it's loud. I'm gonna take one of my favorite brushes. This is my Rephr 21. This is a fantastic brush for shimmers and metallics and foils and all that good stuff. So we're gonna put this on the lid. And I do have a tiny bit of fallout, but nothing crazy. I can fix that in a mo. In a mo. And this shade is actually really pretty. Like, I mean, of course it is. Of course it's pretty. It's just not a shade that I reach for. The irony of that, of course, is that when I was a child, purple was my favorite color. My room was purple. I had a purple room. It wasn't like Barney purple. I will say that. I will say that my favorite type of purple was like lavender, slightly muted purples. I wasn't really into like the Barney purple, but my room was purple. It was purple and it had a little rainbow. And my favorite coat was purple, and I had patent leather purple Mary Janes. So when I say purple was my favorite color, I was living the dream of purple is my favorite color. Like I was doing the thing. Like I was basically like to my mom, don't come to me unless it's purple, sis. Is it purple? Then I'll take it. And now I'm just kind of like, purple's pretty. It's all right. Even though I'm wearing this sweater, which I think is lovely, but I think it's like the only purple item I own. I think it might be. All right, so we're gonna go back into the dark shade, and I just want to blend this a little bit more so that they go together a little bit more. Just a little. All right, what did I do? And this one more again. Just a little lash line just to intensify that. And I'm debating, I have it here. I'm debating, I don't know if this look calls for it though. Do I need a liner? I feel like this is a lot. I don't necessarily need, I do have it though. I have the Pat McGrath liquid liner, but I don't know if I want to use that. We're going to finish the eyes and then we'll see, because I'm a little reticent to go there with that. Okay. So I feel like it would compete with what I've got going on. We're going to go back into Taboo and go on the lower lash line. And I want to clean up the shape of this hair, but I'm going to show you guys how I do that in a moment. I'm going to take this tiny little brush and go into, what shade is this? Extreme Dusk. Oh, I love that. Oh, Pat, your names. They slay me. They slay me, girl. All right. Should I go there, guys? Should I just like take it all the way around? I think I will. And this is why I don't think I'm going to do the liner, because I want to tweak something. I'm going to do that in a minute. This is going to be very intense, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I feel like in this situation, when you're trying this kind of stuff, you kind of just have to go all in, you know? So I'm going to tippy tap, just little tap. And I want to actually bring this up just a bit. And sorry if that totally like blasted you guys with lighting, but I just want to bring this up a bit. See how that just intensified that just a bit, so that it wasn't just sitting in my lid. Since I've hooded eyes, I didn't want it sitting just there, so I just wanted to lightly lift that. And then I'm going to go back in with the purple and lift this up a bit as well. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. All right, there we go. Now for my inner corner, I think I'm gonna go for Skin Show, what is it called? Skin Show Moon Glow. I'm gonna actually spray my brush for this. I'm not gonna use the intensifiers for this. Thinking I wanna put some liner. Actually, no, I'm not gonna put liner. I'm gonna put more the purple. I think I'm gonna put the purple underneath as well. I love shimmer on the lower lash line. It's like one of my favorite things. I just think it gives the eyes such dimension and pop. So this is sort of how I would do this anyway. I would take this underneath. Like so. But I think I am gonna grab a liner. Do I have a Pat McGrath liner? I think I, okay, so I did it in this, Lord have mercy. I did this eye first. I just ran it under just to see if it worked. This is from her kit. Those kits that she had originally, when she first started coming out with makeup, it was like those kits that had like the liner, and then it had like the little pot of pigment, and then it had like the black pigment, and they were supposed to all be used together. I actually have the blue kit. The blue in that kit is beautiful, but this black is actually so creamy and intense, and so I wanted to kind of be careful because it's large and in charge, and I feel like it could kind of take things over. So now I'm going to clean up, like I said, just right around here, and I'm just going to take my concealer brush with no additional product, and I'm just going to do that. Because there's still product in the brush, and I don't necessarily need to add anything extra to it for it to do the job, get the job done. And we're back. Had to wait for the radiator to do its little singy song. We're back. Okay. So, to summarize what I used on my eyes, I used Blue Violet Orchid, I used Taboo, I used Extreme Dusk, and I used Skin Show Moon Glow. And so those are this one, this one, this one, and this one. Excuse me, that one. I'm going the wrong way. That one. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But again, this is like, it's really pretty, but I just don't use these. The thing that's really funny about this whole scenario, excuse me, I'll put her back in her little home. The thing that's so funny about this whole little scenario is that I own a crap ton of purple eyeshadow palettes. I think I'll just leave that there. Next up, we have Dark Star Mascara. Black one that she first came out with, Fetishize, I believe is the name of it. I did not like it. I'll put it this way. It's not that I didn't like it. I thought it was a good mascara. My eyes did not like it. I have a very sensitive lash line, and certain mascaras will irritate my eyes. And there was something in that formula that my eyes did not like. So we're gonna try this one. I'm praying that that same ingredient is not in this one. I hear that this is a better mascara than Fetishize, so we shall see. Okay, mascara is done. Now let's go on to cheeks. And I'm using my favorite blush of all time, if I can get it open, is Desert Orchid. This shade is life. It's one of those shades that just works. I have seen it on so many different skin tones, and it looks good on everybody. So, you know, if you're in the market to shop the sale, this is like probably, if you're not gonna get a mothership, let's say you're just like, you want to dip your toe into Pat McGrath. You just want to get some stuff, like a few things here and there. get this blush. Get this blush. You can send me a thank you card. My email address is in the description box. Just send me a thanks, Amira. You the best. When you get this and you realize how utterly stunning it is. Am I piling on the blush right now? Yes. I mean, now let's do highlighter. And this is I only own 2 Pat McGrath highlighters. I own the little duo one that she has. It has like the clear balm on one side and then like the gold like stick highlighter. That one's fine. It's nice. It's like whatever. This one on the other hand, she's stunning. It doesn't really go with my look, but I wanted to use her today. I mean, actually, that could actually go with it quite nicely. It's getting used either way, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna dip, 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 tap, tap, tap. And what I like about this is that it doesn't go on super heavy, so you can like build it up. Like it's there and you can get it blingy, but you're not gonna be like, oh my God, as soon as you put it on, you know? So, as you can see, I'm not putting a ton, but it's still giving me mad glow. If you can see that. How pretty is that? So nice. Okay, so let's talk lips. I own a lot of Pat McGrath lipstick. And when I say a lot, I think people think, oh, you own 5, you own 10. Pretty much own almost her entire lipstick collection. If you want to see a video about that, about the shame, you know, if you want to bask in my shame of owning an insane amount of lipstick just from one brand, let me know in the comments. I can totally do that for you guys. I will stand in my truth and I will show you all of the Pat McGrath lipstick that I own. Deciding what to use, I was like, oh, I should use this, I should use that. And I'm like, I want to use my favorite shade, but my favorite shade is discontinued, guys. You can't get it anymore. But I really want to use it because it's so party and I feel like it would be perfect with this look. So please don't judge me. It's Los Angeles and I'll show it to you. She party, guys. She party. Look at that. It looks really pink on camera, but it's like the perfect nude. It's like the perfect nude. And this is my favorite lip liner. Look how little it is. I use her all the time. This is what I use to get my mannequin lips. Little trick I do is I take this. This is the shade Contour in her Permagel lip liner. I use this to cover up any like pigment I have in my lips that I don't want there. That's just basically like all this pigment here. And so I just take it and I just cover that up and I blend it and it's creamy enough to blend. And see? It's gone. It's gone. So yes, this gets, one way I like to use this. You know what? I'll be nice. I'm gonna use a gloss. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna show you what Los Angeles looks like. But I'm gonna use a gloss that you can actually purchase. Okay, Pat has my favorite lip gloss formula. These little babies here. This is her Lust Gloss, as she calls it. And my 2 favorite shades are Faux Real, which is very neutrally toned, but really pretty. And then Dare to Bear, which is pinkier, but not really. Like on the lips, it just has a tint, just like a hint more pink tint, but not a big difference on the lips. I usually wear this over a lipstick or over a lip liner. So this is what I do. So I'm going to finish filling my lips in with this contour shade, which is down very, very low. And I'm really sad about that. And then we have to see if she has this in stock. This shade is always out of stock. This is Contour and it's so popular and I can see why, because it's just, let me look at it. So I'm going to take Faux Real. And what I love about this gloss, and I'm going to see if you guys can see in this, but it has like little micro shimmers in it. Tiny micro flecks of gold shimmer. And it doesn't look crazy on the lips. Like your lips aren't going to look crazy glittery. She has her Blitz Trans lipsticks. Those are crazy glittery. I have the red one, and that one is fire. Like, just do like a simple look and then put that lipstick on with a little bit of like a little wing. Fierce. Fierce. I'm just going to hide it like so. And I'll blend it out. My lips are so dry. This winter is kicking my lips butt. I don't care how much lip balm I put on. It's like... So, this is Faux Real with contour lip liner. I mean... But seriously, pretty, right? I know. You can tell me in the comments how pretty it is. I already know, but you can tell me. But yes, this is Los Angeles. It is discontinued. If you find this, like if somebody's selling this brand new on Poshmark, first of all, let me know first. Because if I had known this was being discontinued, I don't buy a lot of backups of things. This, I would have bought a backup of, because I literally, the moment I found out that this was limited edition and discontinued, which it didn't say that when I was purchasing it. It just said it was a part of the collection. She had a huge sale like a couple of holiday seasons ago, a couple of Black Fridays ago. I think it was a Cyber Monday deal. That's another thing with Pat, guys. She always has a beautiful sale, like a sale that goes for like a couple of weeks leading up to Black Friday and on Black Friday. But Cyber Monday is when she has like one crazy sale for on one thing that is just like, what? She had a sale where all her lipsticks were $10 hairs. $10 hairs, guys. Her lipsticks retail for like 30. So they're $38 hairs a pop. And I own a ton of these, but I did not buy them at $38 a pop. I bought them when she had her $10 hair sale. So if you find a shade of these that you like, get it now while it's on sale. This formula, this is the Luxe Trans formula. This formula is the one that is hard to come by. It's my favorite of her formulas. I think she discontinued it, or is discontinuing it. She refuses to answer the question though, because she had a whole thing where she's like, ask me anything about the makeup. And I was like, are you discontinuing Luxe Trans? Didn't get a response. So for me, that was like, oh yeah, she's discontinuing Luxe Trans. So if you can find any kind of Luxe Trans colors, that formula is bomb. It's her cream formula. Her matte formula is lovely as well. I would say of matte formula bullet lipsticks, it's my second favorite to, like, Lisa Eldridge is my first, and then Pat McGrath. So that's nothing to, you know, sneeze at. But yeah, her cream formula and her lipsticks is amazing. The lip glosses, my favorite lip glosses, those retail for, let me go back and pull that up for you guys. Those retail for $28. So let's summarize. Let's regroup. I'm going to zoom you guys out just a little bit more so you can get more of the face, because I want to give you face. So to summarize, to recap, my favorite products on my face: Desert Orchid, Divine Blush, Faux Real Lip Gloss, Lust Gloss, Permagel Lip Liner and Contour. This beauty, which is in the shade Divine Rose. The Skin Fetish Concealer, beautiful. I don't know how I feel about the mascara yet. This is my first time trying it. I'll report back. Love the powder. If you have dry skin, proceed with caution. Under eye powder, like I said, people love it. I'm kind of indifferent to it because I don't powder under my eyes that much. I do like to use it here, and I might start using it here again because just to get use out of this and then use it up. But I do love the way it blurs. I don't know if you guys can see just like how blurred I look right in here. It's very nice. So I think if you're looking for that, this is a great option. Foundation. It's a good foundation. I don't think it's an amazing foundation, but it's a good foundation. But I know people who swear by this. I know Angelica Nyquist just discovered this and she loves it. So I think it just depends on your skin. I think if you're normal skin tone, or excuse me, normal skin type, you're gonna love this. I think this is a great normal skin type foundation. Dry, I think it could go either way for you. And oily, when I first bought this, I bought this in spring and I wore it for an entire summer and it was too much. Like my skin got really, really oily with this. My skin now is more oily normal because the season, my skincare routine has improved greatly, so my skin is more balanced. And then on top of that, I'm on tretinoin, which has made my skin a little bit more on the normal side, with some areas prone to dryness, but not a ton. So I say if you're super oily, maybe get the powder to combine the two, because I found that when I use these together, I didn't have so much of an issue. The eyeshadow palette, I mean, it's Midnight Sun. It's one of my all-time favorite Pat McGrath palettes. So if you are asking me if you should get this palette, if you're willing to drop coin, I'm not peer pressuring you, but I'm also saying palette. So yeah, that is my chaotic, this is my chaotic full face of Pat McGrath video, guys. I mean, I sat down and I knew it was going to be a bit of a shit show with the sound, but I wanted to get this up for you guys because, like I said, she has these sales once a year usually. Well, maybe twice a year, but it's, her sale is 20% off of everything. And then it's 30% off 150 or more. And then it's 35% off of 250 or more. And I think that's a great deal. I've never seen her go up to 35% off. She usually just does 30. So, you know, I say if you have the coin to spend, or you want to get a gift for someone who maybe wants something from Pat McGrath, I think this is the time to do it. I'm just saying. And here, like I said, is my chaotic full face of Pat McGrath. You guys should be used to this by now. I think this should just be my theme. I should like change my like opening and it should just be the sound of like trucks. And then you'll know you're at an Amira video. If you liked this chaotic video, please be sure to like. And if you want to see more videos, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Even with the glasses, it's a cute vibe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.